In today's video, I'll reveal the results of a little research project I've been working on. I wanted to figure out what cruise channels on YouTube are actually getting the most views here in 2026. I think you're going to be surprised by the results. I know I was. There are some channels that are getting way more views than I expected, but also some channels like mine that are way behind the top cruise channels in terms of the number of views we're getting. I'll show you the numbers. Hi there, I'm Jim Zim, and I'm a cruise fanatic. So I watch a lot of videos on YouTube about cruising, and if you do too, you've probably noticed that there are a lot of people on YouTube that make videos about cruising. So to get this project going, the first step was for me to come up with a list of YouTube channels that focus on cruising. And I came up with a list of 17 channels that seemed to me to be doing a good job and seemed to be getting a good number of views and having some success. Now, I want to stress that right now I'm showing you this list in alphabetical order, not in order of who's getting the most views. And before I reveal who's getting the most number of views these days, let me explain how I know. Let's use Lido Loca as an example. If you go to their channel's homepage on YouTube and look in this area here, this is the channel's description. To read the full description, you have to click here where it says More. And when I click that, this pops up. If we scroll down to the bottom of that, you can see a really important piece of information here. This is the total number of views that all the videos on this channel combined have received as of today. And that is a pretty big number right there. Over 136 million views for Lido Loca videos as of today. Very impressive. But here's the thing, they started the channel in 2017, and here we are now in 2026. As impressive as it is that they've had millions of views over the last 9 years, how many of those views were like 5 years ago? And how many views is the channel getting today? We need to know how many views the channel got over the last month, not over its entire lifetime. Well, with a little patience, it wasn't all that hard for me to figure out. A month ago, I jotted down the total number of views that each of these channels had received at that point. Here are those numbers from 1 month ago. And now for each of those channels, if we simply take the number from 1 month ago and subtract it from today's number of the total number of views the channel has had, we will then know the number of views that each of these channels received over the last month. And that number tells us a lot, especially if we change the way we sort this list. Instead of sorting this list of 17 alphabetically, now I've sorted it by the number of views that each of the channels has received over the last month to make it really easy to see which channels are very successful right now, they're at the top of the list, and which ones are struggling, they're at the bottom. Something that really stands out to me is the difference between the top 11 channels and the bottom 6. Every one of the top 11 channels has had over 1 million views in the last month. None of the bottom 6 were even able to get 500,000 views. Are you surprised that Life Well Cruised is the channel that got the most views? I sure was. That was not a channel I thought of as one of the leaders in this category, but obviously, they're doing something right. Now let's talk about what's going on with my channel. 11 channels on this list got over 1 million views in a 1-month period, and my channel only got a little over 400,000. You might think I'd be a little embarrassed by that, but here's the thing you need to understand. I've had my time on the top of the heap. My channel was going gangbusters 5 years ago. Look at the total number of views my channel has had since I started it. 379 million. That's more than any channel on this list. In fact, just to make me feel a little better while we talk about the sad current state of my channel, let's sort the list now by the number of views each channel has received over its lifetime. And now look who's on top of the heap when you look at it that way. So you may be wondering, what happened to your channel, Jim Zim? Well, the truth is that I'm just not willing to work that hard anymore. I'm not trying to be one of the most viewed cruise channels. I'm 68 years old and I'm retired from my real life's work. I had a union job at a nuclear power plant in California where I worked for a long time, and I retired from that job 6 years ago. YouTube is just a fun little hobby for me. I don't need the money. I've got a pension and Social Security and a 401k. I'm financially set. At this point in my life, the goal is not to make the most money from YouTube as I can. It's to enjoy my retirement years as much as I can. And going on a cruise is not work, but shooting a bunch of video while you're on a cruise is work. And what's really hard work is spending days editing video, spending days writing and rewriting scripts to get the words just right, and standing in front of a camera like this when what I'd really rather be doing is be out in my garden, making things grow. So while some of the channels on this list put out a new YouTube video just about every day to satisfy the YouTube algorithm, I'm sometimes going 2 or 3 weeks between making new videos because I'm out there enjoying the relaxing life of being a senior citizen. And to be honest with you, I'm having some health issues too. I'm going to be in the hospital twice later this year for fairly serious operations just to try to stay ahead of how poorly I'm aging. So at this point in my life, I'd rather be taking it easy, doing things like gardening and playing with my dog, not video editing. So when you see this fairly unimpressive number for my channel, just keep in mind this number. And understand that I've chosen to slow down now and take things easy for a while, so don't worry about me. But please do join me in congratulating the channels at the top of the list, the most viewed cruise channels on YouTube right now. Those 11 channels at the top of the list deserve a pat on the back. You don't get 1 million views in a month's time unless you're doing something right. Hey, if you see any channels on that list that you're not already familiar with, maybe you should check them out. For example, Bright Sun Travels. Are you familiar with that one? That's Jake's channel. Check it out. 1.5 million views in just a month. That's really impressive. And if you want my prediction of who 5 years from now will probably be making more money than anyone on this list, that would be Emma. Not only does she have a great on-camera presence, but that girl has business sense too. I'm pretty sure that what we've seen from Emma so far is just the beginning. I'm Jim Zim. Thanks for watching my little salute to the top YouTubers in the world of cruising. I hope you found it interesting.